In April 2026 at CinemaCon in Las Vegas, Marvel Studios did the single most consequential thing they have done since Endgame. They projected on a screen the size of a building the first full trailer for Avengers Doomsday. And in the third act of that trailer, Robert Downey Jr., the man who built the Marvel Cinematic Universe by playing Tony Stark for 15 years, walked into frame wearing the green hood and metal mask of Dr. Doom. The room went silent for a beat. Then it erupted. Within 24 hours, the trailer footage had leaked online, and the largest single conversation about Marvel since Avengers Endgame began. To understand why Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom is the most ambitious narrative bet Marvel has ever placed. The Doom character needs context. Victor Von Doom is, by consensus, the greatest villain in Marvel Comics, not the most popular, not the most violent, the greatest because he is the only Marvel villain that the publisher has consistently written as smarter than every hero on the page. Doom is brilliant, vain, sovereign of his own country, scarred, magic-using, technology pioneering, and capable of beating the entire Avengers roster on his bad days. For 60 years, fans have argued that no live-action adaptation has ever captured him. Now Marvel is asking the audience to accept the man who played their original hero as their final villain. The casting decision was made by Anthony and Joe Russo, the brothers who directed Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. The Russos have been on record in multiple interviews saying that Downey was, quote, the only person who could take on the role, end quote. Their reasoning is structural. Dr. Doom is in the comics a multiversal threat. He is the kind of villain who stops time, rewrites reality, and forces heroes to confront the worst version of themselves. To carry that weight on screen, the Russos argued you need an actor the audience already feels something for. Tony Stark gave the audience 15 years of emotional investment. The Russos are about to weaponize that investment. The plot of Doomsday, based on what the trailer revealed and what insider reports have confirmed, is structured around a multiversal collision. 3 groups of heroes from 3 different realities are pulled together to fight Doom, the Earth 616 Avengers, including the new Avengers and the Wakandan forces, the Earth 828 Fantastic Four, and the original X-Men pulled in from a separate universe that audiences have not yet seen on screen. Marvel is using Doomsday as the bridge between the X-Men universe, the Fantastic Four universe, and the main MCU. Every cast announcement so far has confirmed it. Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Ian McKellen returning as Magneto from the Fox X-Men films, Tom Hiddleston back as Loki, Sam Wilson as Captain America, Shuri carrying the Wakanda story forward, Ant-Man on the comic relief beat. The roster is the largest superhero cast ever assembled for a single film. The trailer itself, which CinemaCon attendees described in lengthy posts after the screening, opens with Doom giving a narrated warning about, quote, an imminent multiversal threat, end quote. The visual structure of the trailer cuts between the 3 universes converging. Magneto is shown lifting half a city from the ground. Sam Wilson swears in a new generation of Avengers. Loki appears mid-conversation with the Time Variance Authority, possibly setting up his fate from the 2nd season of his solo series. Steve Rogers is shown briefly, lifting Mjolnir in a shot that several attendees described as the loudest reaction in the room. And then in the final 30 seconds, Doom unmasks. Robert Downey Jr., half of his face is scarred. The other half is calm. He smiles. The trailer ends. The implications of this casting are massive. The first is narrative. Tony Stark died in Endgame to save the universe from Thanos. By bringing Downey back as Doom, Marvel is collapsing the moral structure of the entire MCU. The audience has spent 15 years rooting for Tony Stark. They are about to spend at least 2 films rooting against the same actor. The cognitive dissonance is the point. The Russos want viewers to feel betrayal in a way that no other Marvel villain has been able to produce. Doom, in the comics, is often described as the dark mirror of Reed Richards. In the MCU, Doom is being positioned as the dark mirror of Tony Stark. Both men were geniuses, both men were billionaires. Both men built suits of armor. The difference is the choice each one made about what to do with that intelligence and that money. The second implication is commercial. Avengers Doomsday is currently scheduled for December 18th, 2026. That release date puts it directly into the holiday window against zero serious franchise competition. Disney has already begun the marketing push at scale. The CinemaCon trailer was followed within 72 hours by a teaser drop on Marvel's social channels, a press tour announcement, and confirmation that the film's marketing budget is the largest in MCU history. Internal estimates put opening weekend box office in the $800 to $900 million range globally. If those numbers hold, Doomsday will be the biggest superhero opening ever recorded. The third implication is for Robert Downey Jr. Personally, Downey explained in a recent interview that the decision to return was not financial. Marvel offered him the role for the first time in late 2024. He turned it down. The Russos pursued him for nearly a year. The thing that finally convinced him was a single conversation about the structural arc of Doom across 2 Avengers films. Doomsday in 2026, Secret Wars in 2027. Downey signed a 2-film deal because the Russos were able to articulate, in his own words, quote, the most morally interesting villain arc Marvel has ever written, end quote. That arc is now under production. The fourth implication is about the X-Men. For the first time since Disney acquired Fox in 2019, the original Fox X-Men cast is being brought back into a single film. Ian McKellen is confirmed. Patrick Stewart is rumored. Hugh Jackman, who returned briefly in Deadpool and Wolverine, is rumored for an extended role. The audience that grew up with the original X-Men films is being given a send-off in the same movie that introduces a new Doom era. Marvel has never attempted a generational handoff this large. The fifth implication is for the Fantastic Four. Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards is the central plot anchor of the entire film. Doom and Reed are, in the comics, intellectual rivals from college. Marvel is widely expected to lean into that history, with the Pascal version of Reed being the only character on screen capable of fully understanding what Doom is doing, and why. The personal stakes between the two characters are being teased as the emotional spine of Doomsday. For the broader cinema industry, Avengers Doomsday is a bet that traditional theatrical superhero cinema can still anchor a December tentpole release in a streaming-dominated market. Marvel has spent the last 3 years losing audience trust through oversaturation. Doomsday is the film that has to win that trust back. The casting of Downey as Doom, the multiversal collision, the X-Men return, the Fantastic Four debut, and the Russo brothers reunion are all bets that the audience will show up for one specific kind of event. Filmmaking one more time. The clock is now running. December 18th, 2026, 230 days until release. Robert Downey Jr. is no longer Iron Man, Doom is coming. And after 15 years of watching one man save the universe, the audience is about to watch the same man try to end it.